राम राम। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामने गौरकुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. So today we are discussing from Bhagavad Gita chapter 2nd, and we discussed from verse number 11. Verse number 11 or 12, we discussed verse number 12 yesterday. Natvevaham jatu nasam natvam na ime janadipa na chaiva na bhavishyam sarve vayamataha param. There was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So in this verse, Krishna introduced the concept that the soul, that we never die. We never die. We are something else. So then the question may arise, not only we, means all the living entities, they always remain as it is, individual being. So then the question may arise then, uh, uh, what happens when the body dies? But I see I'm changing every moment. I'm changing. My body is changing. So I feel like I am getting changed. So how to understand this? When the body dies, then still I'm not dying. So what is the science behind it? So now Krishna speaks the most famous verse of Bhagavad Gita, most basic fundamental verse, which introduces the concept of soul within the body. So verse number 13. देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिर्धीरस्तदृणमुह्यते. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth, Dehino Asmin Yathad. For the first time, Krishna has introduced the concept Dehi. In the previous two verses, Krishna condemned the bodily concept of life, and he said we never die. But who are we? That is being introduced in this particular verse. That Dehina, or Dehi, embodied soul. Dehi means the entity or the person who possesses the body. Dehi. Dehi no, Dehina Asmin Yatha Dehi. Dehi. This body is known as Deha. Deha means body, or Sharir, that is body, Sharir. And the Dehi means the possessor of body, or possessor of Sharir, also known as Sariri or Dehi, embodied. Embodied means one who possesses the body. Just like when these two things, uh, yes, Gyan and Gyani, Dhan and Dhani. So Gyan means knowledge, and Gyani means one who possesses the knowledge. Dhan means wealth, and Dhani means one who possesses the wealth. Dhani. So these two things are different. Gyan and Gyani are two different things. One is possessor, the person who possesses the money or the knowledge. He is Gyani or Gyan, and Gyan is the object which he possesses. So Gyana, knowledge is the object which he possesses. Similarly, Dhan or wealth is the object which he possesses. And he is different from this. Similarly, Deha and Dehi. So Deha means body, the object, and Dehi means the possessor of the object, this body. So that is the difference. So we are possessing this body, but we are not this body. This is the first and foremost understanding of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is telling. So just like he's giving example, just like Dehino means Dehi, that means possessor of the body. She Yatha Dehi, just Yatha means just like the Dehi, uh, Yatha Dehi, while living in the Asmin. Asmin means within. Asmin Dehi means within this Deha body. Just like Dehi, when the Dehi, the possessor of the body, is living with when it is living within the body, how it is transmigrating. Similarly, as soon as the Dehi, the possessor of body, leaves the body, he transfers to another body. Just like while living in this body, the Dehi or soul living entity, possessor of the body, transmigrates from Kaumaram, Yovanam, and Jara. These three stages. These three stages of life. One undergoes the living entity, the possessor of the body undergoes these three stages of situation. Kaumaram means boyhood, Yovanam means youthhood, and Jara means old age. So while living within this body, the Dehi or the living entity, the possessor of the body, transmigrates from the three stages. Tatha, similarly, Dehantara Praptu. Similarly, after Jara, means after old age, as soon as the body is dead, Dehantara. Dehantara means he is transmigrated to another body. He transmigrates to another body. And in that body also, the living entity soul transmigrates from Kaumaram, boyhood to Yovanam, youth to Jara, old age. And one who perfectly understands the science of transmigration means transference of the soul from one body to another body. So this verse, Dehinasmin Yatha Dehe Kaumaram Yovanam Jara, this proves that even while living this body, we are changing the body. Even in this life, when we are living, so we are changing our body. We are transferring ourselves to from one body to another body. From boyhood body to youthhood body, and from youthhood body to old body, old age. Uh, from boyhood to youth and youth to old age, we are transferring while being in this life itself. So why not when this body is completely finished? That is science. Any reasonable person can understand it very clearly. Uh, From boyhood to youth and youth to old age. We are changing body in this life also. How it can be understood? Because the body is totally different. If you look at your picture when you were born, you are a small kid of 2, 3 years old. If you look at those pictures, and now at the present, if you look, so it is completely different. If you show your childhood picture to somebody who is strange, he may not be able to even understand that this is your photo. Why? Because the body is completely changed. Medical science has also proved this thing. According to medical science, they say every 7 years, each and every cells of our body is replaced with new cells, including the brain cells. Including brain cells also is replaced with new cells. So if each and every part of our body is replaced with new one, so then that means the body is completely changed. It is very logical. Nobody can deny this fact. Now it is medically proven. Now you must accept. One may deny this words of Bhagavad Gita which Krishna is spoken. One may say this is all mythology. We don't believe. But no, this is not mythology. This is science. Just imagine, 5,000 years back, Krishna already spoke this science, medical science. Kaumaram Yovanam Jara. And now medically they have proved this, that just as we transfer ourselves from boy to youth to old age, similarly, the living entity gets transferred to another body after death. So that is very much clear. So this scientific explanation, Krishna has already explained 5,000 years back. So Bhagavad Gita is a complete book of science, scientific knowledge. Kamaram Yovanam Jara, the body. Every 7 years, if the body gets changed completely, that means a person who is of 70 years old, he has changed his body 10 times already while living in this life. So what is the big deal if after leaving this particular body after death, he is changing his body to a new one? That's why those who are situated in perfect knowledge, perfect scientific knowledge, that we are already changing. We have already changed our body so many times. So what is the big deal if we change another time after death? So such a person is known as dhira or sober. So such a person, a sober person, is not bewildered by such a change. He does not get bewildered because he knows I'll get a new one. Just like now, every one of us, we have changed our clothes multiple times. From childhood, we have changed our clothes hundreds of times. Some more 100 or so, 50 times, 20 times, 10 times at least. After every 3, 4, 5 years, we change our cloth. And someone may be changing cloth after every year, after every 1 year. So 10, 15, 20 times we have changed our clothes. Those. So we are convinced, okay, this particular cloth also which I am be wearing, if it also gets worn out, old and worn out, then I'll get another one. So we never lament for the this condition of this particular dress or cloth, because we know we'll get new one, new dress. That is a good news. And that is why Krishna is telling and encouraging Arjuna that, Arjuna, why are you unnecessarily lamenting over the change of the bodies of your relatives? This body is like dress. Krishna will address this thing in verse number 23. He will explain Vasam Chijirnani Yatha Vihaya. Just as when the old clothes are worn out, one changes the dress and accepts new clothes. Similarly, at the time of death, one changes his body and accepts new body. So this is very much clear. So that kind of person never laments. So Krishna told Arjuna that these soldiers, warriors, Drona and Bhishma, they are noble souls. They have led their life with religious principles. They are Brahmins and Kshatriyas. So, and they are fighting in this Dharma Yuddha. So as soon as if they die in this battle, they are going to get promoted to heavenly planets, and they will get a better material body. So you should be happy over this. Suppose if somebody is wearing old cloth, and if I go and give him new dress, so should he lament over this? That, oh, I have to give up my old dress. No, he will be happy. Yeah, yes, he's ready. Similarly, Krishna is encouraging like this. So similarly, we should also be encouraged that we should work for creating a better new material body. Actually, one should work for creating transcendental body, divine body. The only best body is transcendental divine body, permanent body. One should acquire permanent body, but if not permanent spiritual body, but at least a better material body. So if one follows the principles of religion, if one follows the dharma, he follows the prescribed duties properly, even if he doesn't like to do it, then he gets the result of getting promoted to heavenly planets or higher destinations. He gets, and he's promoted to a spiritual world if he has completely executed the principles of religion in perfect manner. That's why those who are jiras, those who are sober person, so they do not lament. They are never bewildered over the change of the body, and they are not bewildered for uh, the satisfaction of this body. They are not bewildered in terms of giving temporary material happiness to this material body, because they know if we are following the path of religion in a perfect manner, So we are promoting ourselves. That kind of person are known as Dhira, sober. So they are not afraid of any situation of life, not just death. Of course, death is the ultimate situation which everyone laments, which everyone is fearful of. But a sober person, he is not at all afraid, not at all very much anxious about death, and also he is not and not at all afraid or anxious about the body getting old, because after as the time passes, everyone has to become old one day. So Dheeraj Tatra na Muhyati. He never gets bewildered. What is the meaning of he never gets bewildered? The meaning is that in all the situation, he goes on executing his duties properly. Means not at all affected by such a thing. So since every living entity is an individual soul, each is changing his body every moment, manifesting sometimes as a child, sometimes as a youth, and sometimes as an old man. Yet the same spirit soul is there and does not undergo any change. This individual soul finally changes the body at death and transmigrates to another body. And since it is sure to have another body in the next birth, either material or spiritual, there is no cause for lamentation by Arjuna on account of death, neither for Bhishma nor for Drona, for whom he was so much concerned. Rather, he should rejoice for their changing bodies from old to new ones, thereby rejuvenating their energy. Such changes of body account for varieties of enjoyment or suffering according to one's work in life. So Bhishma and Drona, being noble souls, were surely going to have special bodies in the next life, or at least life in heavenly bodies for superior enjoyment of material existence. So in either case, there was no cause of lamentation. So this is the same thing which we have already discussed, that Arjuna should not lament. Similarly, we should also not lament over the changes of body. Rather our concern should be how to lead this present life, uh, whether it is of 50 years, 70 years, 80 years, 20 years also. But it doesn't matter actually. But our concern should be that we should lead our life in such a manner that our next destination, next body, we may get in a better manner, either is material or spiritual. If we are getting promoted uh, to higher destination of life, then that life is successful. And if we perform just for the sake of giving some insignificant material happiness to this material body, if we go on performing some kind of sinful activity, so that is a great loss for a human being, because then he is going to get degraded to lower forms of life, hellish condition of life. But if somebody can lead his life, controlling his mind and senses in a perfect manner, and following the principles of religion, then he is surely going to get promoted to a higher destination. So, a man who has perfect knowledge of the constitution of the individual soul, the super soul, and nature, both material and spiritual, is called a dhira, or a most sober man. Such a man is never deluded by the change of bodies. Any person who has perfect knowledge about these things, that we are not this body, we are spirit soul, individual soul, and the super soul, who is actually source of individual soul or maintainer, controller of super soul, and nature of both material and spiritual world, he is actually called a dhira because he has a perfect knowledge, a most sober person. Such a man is never deluded by the change of bodies. Such a kind and sober person, she never gets bewildered over the change of the body of himself or some of his relatives and friends. So this is being explained. Mayavadi theory of oneness of the spiritual cannot be entertained on the ground that the spiritual cannot be cut into pieces as a perimeter question. So this last paragraph, Srila Prabhupada is explaining the misconception of Mayavadi theory, which we'll discuss tomorrow. So with this, we'll stop. And if you have any questions, we can ask. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Yes. Does anyone have any question?